Zara watched the human female through narrowed silver eyes. Her skin glowed with faint purple bioluminescence as she studied the strange creature who slept peacefully unaware of being observed. The alien had traveled across 17 star systems to find this specific human. Her mission was too important to fail. The fate of an entire civilization rested on her slender shoulders. The human named Lily rolled over in her sleep. Zara tilted her head, fascinated by how fragile yet resilient these beings appeared. She had studied humans for decades, learning their languages, customs, and history, but meeting one face to face was different. Lily had no idea how important she was to the survival of an entire species. Zara remembered the day the High Council selected her for this mission. Her people, the Vixari, were dying out of genetic degradation, slowly killing their civilization. Their scientists discovered that human DNA contained the key to their salvation, but not just any human-specific. Genetic markers passed down through certain bloodlines held the cure. And according to their research, Lily carried those exact markers. Morning light filtered through the bedroom window. Lily stretched and opened her eyes, then froze when she spotted the tall, slender figure standing in the corner of her room. She opened her mouth, but Zara raised a 6-fingered hand. "I mean no harm." Zara said, her voice melodic with an unusual resonance. "I have come a long way to find you." Lily scrambled backward, on her bed, eyes wide with fear. "Who are you? What are you?" "My name is Zara. I am Vixari." Zara stepped forward into the light, revealing her full appearance. She stood nearly 7 feet tall with luminous purple skin and delicate features. Her eyes were large and silver with no pupils. Her head was hairless but covered with intricate patterns that pulsed softly with light. The patterns changed slightly with her emotions, something Lily would learn to read over time. Lily grabbed her phone, but Zara gestured and the device powered down. "Please listen, I need your help." "My people are dying." Lily stared at the alien, her breath coming in short gasps. "How did you get in here? What do you want from me?" Zara sat down on the floor, making herself less threatening. "I have been watching you for some time. Your genetic code is special. It contains sequences that could save my species. Wait, you've been watching me." Lily clutched her blanket tighter. "How long?" 3 of your Earth months," Zara admitted. "I needed to be certain you were the right one before making contact." Lily shook her head disbelievingly. "This isn't happening. This can't be real. Aliens aren't real." "I understand your fear," Zara said, "but time is short. I must return to my homeworld soon, with or without your help across the galaxy." The Vexari homeworld was dying. Its once brilliant blue atmosphere had turned gray as the population dwindled. The last generation of children had been born with severe defects, many not surviving past their first cycle. The scientists worked desperately to find a solution based on the genetic samples Zara had sent. But they needed more. They needed direct access to the human who carried the genetic key back on Earth. Lily had calmed enough to ask questions. "Why me? What makes my DNA special?" "Your ancestors," Zara explained. "Thousands of years ago, my people visited Earth. We encountered your ancestors, and there was an exchange of genetic material. Your bloodline carries traces of this ancient connection." Lily laughed, nervously. "So you're saying I'm part alien?" "Not exactly," Zara said, "but your DNA contains elements that are compatible with ours in a way that could help us rebuild our genetic structure. The relationship between our species goes back further than your recorded history." Lily paced her small bedroom, trying to process this impossible situation. She had always believed something was out there in the vastness of space, but never imagined she would meet an alien in her bedroom on a Tuesday morning, and studied Zara more carefully, noticing how the alien moved with a fluid grace, despite the obviously different joint structure. "Why should I believe you?" Lily asked. "How do I know this isn't some elaborate hoax?" Zara considered this, then raised her hand. A small orb of light formed above her palm, swirling with colors Lily had never seen before. It expanded, showing images of a distant world, with 3 moons and sprawling cities built into massive crystal formations. "This is Vexar, my home," Zara said, as the orb showed scenes of a beautiful but clearly dying world. The images shifted to medical facilities where Vexari children lay connected to life support systems, their skin dull rather than luminous, like Zara's. "This is happening now. My people fade more each cycle." Lily reached toward the orb, mesmerized. The light felt cool against her fingers, and somehow she knew the images were real. The emotion behind them too raw and alien to be fabricated. Outside Lily's apartment, strange lights appeared. In the sky, government vehicles began converging on the neighborhood. Someone had noticed the unusual energy signatures from Zara's ship hidden in orbit. "They have found me," Zara said, looking upward. "I did not anticipate detection so soon." "Who?" Lily asked, moving to the window. Her eyes widened at the sight of black SUVs and uniformed personnel. "Your government. They monitor for extraterrestrial signals. We must leave quickly." Lily felt a strange sense of calm replace her fear. "You need my help. And they'll take you away, won't they?" "They would experiment on you." "Yes," Zara confirmed. "They would study me. My technology. My biology. My people would die, waiting for a cure while I became a specimen in a laboratory." Lily made a decision that would change two civilizations. "What do you need? A blood sample?" "Some hair more than that?" Zara said, "I need you to come with me to my world. Our scientists need to study you directly. The treatment must be tailored specifically to your genetic code." The alien extended her hand palm, how the patterns on her skin pulsed more intensely. "This is your choice, Lily. I will not force you. But without your help, an entire species faces extinction." Lily thought about her life. Her job at the bookstore, her small circle of friends, her cat, who was staying with her neighbor this weekend. What would happen if she left? Everything or nothing might change. Perhaps this was why she had always felt different, somehow disconnected from others around her. Outside men in tactical gear approached the building. They moved with purpose, weapons ready. Their communications equipment detected the unusual energy signature coming from Lily's apartment. Lily took a deep breath and placed her hand in Zara's. "I want to know everything about your world, your people, and why my DNA matters so much." Relief washed over Zara's features. "Thank you. You have made the most important decision in the history of two worlds." Before the government agents could reach the apartment, a soft light enveloped both figures. The air hummed with energy, molecules vibrating at increasing speeds, creating a bubble of distorted space around them. Lily felt a strange sensation like being pulled in all directions at once, but Zara's grip was firm, reassuring. They vanished, leaving behind only a faint purple glow that faded within seconds. The agents burst into an empty apartment, finding nothing but the lingering scent of ozone and a single strand of long brown hair on the pillow, high above Earth. Zara's ship, detached from its hiding place behind an old satellite. Its cloaking technology had kept it hidden from human detection systems until the energy transfer became necessary. Now it accelerated quickly, breaking orbit and disappearing into the darkness of space, carrying its precious cargo toward a distant star system and a civilization desperate for salvation. Lily watched through a viewport as Earth grew smaller behind them. Her home planet, a blue marble suspended in blackness. She wondered if she would ever see it again. But something told her this journey was always meant to be her destiny. The stars stretched and blurred as the ship entered faster than light travel, beginning the long journey to Vexar, and the start of an adventure beyond anything Lily could have imagined. The journey to Vexar took 12 Earth days. Lily spent most of that time learning about Vexari culture and physiology. Zara proved to be a patient teacher, explaining the complex history of her people and the genetic disorder that threatened their extinction. Vexari evolved on a world with higher radiation levels than Earth, Zara explained, as they shared a meal of synthesized proteins. Their bodies developed natural protection mechanisms, including our bioluminescent skin and regenerative abilities. But something changed in our star 3 centuries ago. Its radiation shifted, disrupting our genetic stability. Lily watched the patterns on Zara's skin pulse with different colors as she spoke. She had learned that these patterns were a secondary form of communication among Vexari expressing emotional states that words could not capture. "So what exactly happens to your people?" Lily asked. "The younger, the Vexari, the more severe the symptoms," Zara replied. "Children are born with unstable genetic codes. Their bodies cannot properly develop or maintain themselves." The patterns on her skin dimmed to a dull blue expressing sadness. Each generation is weaker than the last. Soon there will be no more children born at all. "How many of you are left?" "Approximately 300,000, Zara said. "We once numbered in the millions." The ship alert system chimed softly, interrupting their conversation. A holographic display appeared showing their approach to the Vexari home system. Lily moved closer to the view screen, her eyes widening at the sight. 3 planets orbited a massive red star. The second world glowed with a strange purple luminescence, visible even from this distance. "That's Vexar," Zara said, standing beside Lily. "My home." The ship decelerated, entering the outer reaches of the system. Lily noticed several large structures orbiting the planet. They almost looked like massive medical facilities or research stations connected by glowing energy tethers. "Our orbital research centers," Zara explained. "They house our most advanced genetic laboratories. The best minds of our people work there searching for a cure." The ship docked at one of these stations. Lily felt a flutter of nervousness. What would these aliens think of her? Would they see her as a lab specimen or a savior? She hardly knew which she was herself. Zara sensed her anxiety. The patterns on her skin shifted to calming blues and greens. "You have nothing to fear, Lily. You are honored among my people. They know what your presence means." They disembarked into a large docking bay where a small group of Vexari waited. Their skin tones ranged from pale lavender to deep violet, and they all shared the same tall, slender build as Zara. The patterns on their skin flashed in complex sequences, a silent conversation passing between them. Lily felt distinctly out of place. Her 5'6" frame seemed childlike next to these elegant beings, her plain human skin dull and lifeless in comparison. She resisted the urge to hide behind Zara. One Vexari stepped forward, their skin a deep royal purple with gold patterns that marked them as someone of importance. "I am Elder Nix, lead scientist of the Genetic Restoration Project. We welcome you, human Lily. You bring hope where there was none." The formal greeting surprised Lily. She hadn't expected such a reception. "Thank you," she replied, uncertain of the proper protocol. "I'm not sure exactly how I can help, but am willing to try." Elder Nix gestured toward a doorway. "We have prepared a living space for you. After you have rested, we will begin the examination process. There is much to do, and time grows short for many of our youngest." Zara escorted Lily through gleaming corridors that seemed to be made of some crystalline material that hummed faintly with energy. They passed other Vexari who stopped and stared at the human with obvious curiosity. Some of the patterns on their skin expressed amazement, others skepticism. Lily's quarters were spacious and had been modified to accommodate human needs. The bed temperature controls and even a small area with earth food synthesized to provide familiar nutrition. Lily appreciated the effort, but couldn't help feeling like an exotic pet in a carefully constructed habitat. Once alone, she sat on the edge of the bed and stared out the viewport at the glowing planet below. "What have I gotten myself into?" she whispered. "I don't even know if I can really help them. What if I'm not what they need? What if this was all a mistake?" The door chimed, softly interrupting her thoughts. Zara entered, her skin glowing faintly in the dimmed light. "How are you feeling?" "Overwhelmed," Lily admitted. "Why did you really choose me? There must be millions of humans with this genetic marker you mentioned." "Why me?" Specifically, Zara sat beside her. "The proximity sensor in your dwelling detected unusual genetic sequencing during a routine scan 6 months ago. She explained your planet is monitored by various species. The Galactic Confederation requires such monitoring of developing worlds." "Wait, what?" Lily interrupted. "You scan our home's only public spaces," Zara clarified. The scanner detected your presence at a medical facility where you donated blood. The initial results were promising. Further investigation confirmed you carried the exact marker sequence we need. More importantly, you live alone, have few close connections, and displayed personality traits suggesting adaptability. Lily wasn't sure whether to be flattered or offended. So I was convenient. Zara tilted her head, the patterns on her skin forming complex shapes. Convenience was a factor, yes, but there is more. The genetic similarity suggests a direct connection between your bloodline and the Vexari who visited Earth thousands of years ago. You may be a distant descendant. The implication stunned Lily. Are you saying my ancestors were possibly visitors to your world? Zara confirmed. Or perhaps they encountered our explorers? The genetic record is unclear, but the connection exists, and it makes you uniquely qualified to help us. Before Lily could respond, another chime sounded. An urgent message from Elder Nyx flashed on a nearby screen. Zara read it, her skin paling to almost white. We must go now. What's wrong? A child is failing. The medical team believes they can stabilize her, but they need a sample of your genetic material immediately. Lily stood without hesitation. Lead the way. They hurried through the station toward the medical section. The urgency was palpable. Vexari moved quickly, stepping aside as Zara and Lily passed. Several called out encouraging words or touched their foreheads in a sign of respect. The medical bay was a large circular chamber filled with advanced technology, unlike anything Lily had seen. Floating displays showed genetic sequences and vital signs. In the center, a small Vexari child lay on a crystalline platform, her skin barely glowing her patterns. Static and dim Elder Nyx stood beside the child, monitoring her condition. The situation is critical, he said without preamble. We need blood, bone marrow, and tissue samples immediately. Lily nodded, rolling up her sleeve. Do whatever you need to. A medical technician approached with a device that looked nothing like Earth medical equipment. It hummed softly as it touched Lily's skin. She felt a slight warming sensation, but no pain. The device collected multiple samples, simultaneously analyzing and processing them instantly. The technician moved quickly, transferring the processed samples to the platform, where the child lay. The material glowed with a strange blue energy as it was integrated into a treatment sequence. Everyone watched in tense silence as the machines worked. Minutes passed. The child's condition remained critical. Then slowly, almost imperceptibly, her skin began to glow brighter. The patterns on her small body flickered weakly at first. Then, with growing strength, it is working. Elder Nyx said, her voice filled with emotion. The genetic stabilizer is taking effect. Lily watched in amazement as the child visibly improved before her eyes. The patterns on her skin began to pulse in regular sequences. Her breathing deepened and steadied. Within an hour, she had stabilized completely. The relief in the room was palpable. The Vexari medical team touched their foreheads in the gesture Lily now recognized as gratitude. One approached her directly. I am Tala, the child's mother. She said, her patterns expressing profound gratitude. You have saved my daughter when all hope was lost. We can never repay this debt. Lily felt tears in her eyes. I'm glad I could help. What's her name? Mira. The mother replied. It means hope in our language. Elder Nyx approached. The readings are extraordinary. She said, the treatment derived from your genetic material has completely stabilized Mira's condition. The degeneration has not only stopped but begun to reverse. This is beyond our most optimistic projections. What does that mean? Lily asked. It means, Zara replied, her skin glowing with excitement, that we may be able to develop a permanent cure, not just a treatment. We need to conduct more tests, but this is the breakthrough we've sought for generations. Lily smiled, watching little Mira as she slept peacefully, her skin now glowing with healthy light. For the first time since arriving, she felt certain she had made the right choice in coming here. This was why she had always felt different on Earth. Perhaps some part of her had always known she belonged among the stars. In the weeks that followed, Lily became immersed in Vexari culture. The initial success with Mira opened doors throughout the research station. Vexari scientists worked tirelessly to understand how her human DNA could repair their genetic damage. The process required numerous samples and tests. Lily submitted to them willingly. Despite the occasional discomfort, Elder Nix became a frequent visitor to Lily's quarters, often bringing historical records and cultural artifacts to share. "I want you to understand our people," she explained. "Not just our biology, but who we are." Lily learned that the Vexari were an ancient civilization with over 20,000 years of recorded history. They had achieved space travel before humans had invented the wheel. Their society valued knowledge, artistic expression, and harmony with their environment. They had no concept of warfare. Their conflicts resolved through complex negotiations and consensus. "You have no wars at all?" Lily asked, incredulous. "That seems impossible." "Not impossible," Elder Nix replied, "just different. Our minds connect through shared consciousness. The patterns on our skin are not merely decorative, but part of a complex communication system. We can feel the emotions and experiences of others, making violence against another as painful as harming oneself." This revelation fascinated Lily. She thought about Earth with its endless conflicts and divisions, its nations and borders, its wars fought over resources, religion, or mere differences in ideology. How different things might have been if humans shared this connection. As Lily learned about Vexari culture, Zara took her on short excursions to the planet's surface. Vexar was a world of breathtaking beauty. Massive crystal formations rose from purple plains stretching toward the red sky. Cities were built within and around these structures, utilizing their natural energy. The architecture was both functional and artistic, with no clear distinction between natural and constructed environments. During one such visit, they walked through gardens filled with bioluminescent plants that responded to movement, glowing brighter as they passed. Small floating creatures that resembled a cross between birds and jellyfish drifted overhead, filling the air with melodic sounds. "This is my favorite place," Zara said, leading Lily to a crystal overlook that provided a view of the entire valley. "I came here often as a child." The landscape below was magnificent, winding rivers of silvery liquid cut through purple plains. Distant mountain ranges glowed with inner light, and everywhere were signs of Vexari habitation, perfectly integrated into the natural world. "It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen," Lily said truthfully. Zara turned to her, the patterns on her skin forming complex shapes that Lily had begun to recognize as expressions of deep emotion. "Our world is dying, Lily. Not just our people, but the planet itself. The same radiation that affects our genetics has begun to alter our environment. The balance is failing. Our scientists predict total ecosystem collapse within 50 years. Lily felt a chill despite the warm air. "Is there anything that can be done?" "The Vexari have begun preparations for relocation," Zara explained. "Several potential worlds have been identified, but leaving our homeworld would fundamentally change who we are. Our connection to this place is part of our identity." Lily thought about Earth, about how humans had spread across their planet, adapting to different environments. The idea of an entire species connected to a single world in such a profound way was foreign to her human experience. Yet she understood the grief in Zara's patterns. Back at the research station, progress continued on developing a permanent cure. The initial treatment that saved Mira had been replicated and improved. Dozens of other Vexari children had been treated with promising results. But the scientists were still working to create a solution that could be applied to the entire population. Elder Nix called Lily to the main laboratory one evening. Her patterns showed excitement. "We have made a breakthrough." Lily had learned enough about genetic science during her stay to understand the basics of what the Elder showed her. The scientists had isolated the specific sequences in her DNA that produced the healing effect and had found a way to integrate them into the Vexari genome without altering their fundamental biological characteristics. "The implications are profound," Elder Nix explained. "This isn't merely a treatment, but a true cure, one that can be passed to future generations. Without altering who we are, as Vexari, how soon can you begin treating everyone?" Lily asked. "We must conduct final trials," Elder Nix said. "But if all goes well, implementation could begin within days." The news spread quickly throughout the station and to the planet below. Lily suddenly found herself the center of even more attention. Vexari she had never met approached her expressing gratitude. Some brought gifts, others simply wanted to see the human who had saved their species. The patterns on their skin told stories of hope renewed and futures restored. Zara remained her constant companion, helping her navigate the increasing social complexities. "You have become a legend among my people," she told Lily. "Stories of the human savior will be taught to Vexari, children for generations." Lily felt uncomfortable with such adoration. "I just happen to have the right genes. It's not like I did anything special." Zara touched her arm gently. "You chose to come with me. You chose to help an alien race without guarantee of return. That choice saved us all." The success of the treatment spread rapidly across Vexar. Within weeks, thousands had received the genetic cure. Children who had been on the verge of death recovered fully. Adults who had been declining stabilized and began to improve. The patterns on their skin grew brighter, more vibrant. The population that had been slowly fading began to flourish once more. One evening, as Lily sat in her quarters reviewing data from the latest treatments, the alert system chimed. "Emergency protocols activated. All personnel secure stations immediately." Before she could react, Zara burst into the room, her skin flashing with patterns of alarm. "We must go now. What's happening?" "Humans," Zara said. "They have followed us." Lily felt her heart sink. "How we believe they tracked the energy signature of my ship," she explained. "Even with our cloaking technology, the warp signature was traceable. They must have been following us since we left Earth." Zara led Lily quickly through the station toward the emergency transport bays. The corridors were filled with Vexari moving purposefully, but without panic. Their discipline impressive even in crisis. They reached a view screen that showed the space around the station. A ship of clear human design had taken position nearby. It was military in appearance, bristling with what Lily assumed were weapons systems. "How did they get here so fast?" Lily asked. "Earth doesn't have faster than light technology." Zara looked grim, the patterns on her skin darkening. "Someone has been helping them, providing technology. There are other species who view the Vexari as threats due to our telepathic abilities." A communication alert sounded throughout the station. "The human vessel is broadcasting a message," Elder Nix announced, appearing beside them. On all frequencies, the message played through the station speakers. "This is Captain Susan Carter of the Earth Defense Force vessel Horizon. We demand the immediate return of the human abductee, Lily Brooks, and surrender of all alien technology. Compliance will be rewarded with peaceful departure. Resistance will be met with appropriate force. You have 1 hour to respond." Lily felt anger rising. "They think I was abducted. It is a convenient narrative," Zara said. "For those who would exploit this situation, they claim to rescue you while their true purpose is to acquire our technology and biological samples." The Vexari Council convened immediately. Lily was brought before them to explain what she knew about Earth military capabilities and potential intentions. She told them everything she could, though her knowledge was limited. "They have no understanding of who we are or why." "I'm here," Lily explained. "They see you as threats, as invaders. Their response comes from fear, not malice, Elder." Nix considered this. "Fear is still dangerous," she observed. "Perhaps direct communication would help." Lily nodded. "Let me talk to them. I can explain the situation. Maybe they will listen." A communication channel was established. Lily faced the screen as Captain Carter's image appeared. The human officer looked surprised to see her. "Lily, are you all right? Are you being coerced, Im?" "Fine," Captain Lily assured her. "I came here voluntarily. These people need my help in providing genetic material to cure a disease that's killing their species." Carter looked skeptical. "We have reason to believe you were taken against your will. Our satellites recorded the energy surge at your apartment, followed by your disappearance. Because government agents were about to storm in." Lily countered. "I made my choice freely. And it'd make it again. The Vexari are peaceful. They have technology far beyond ours, but they haven't used it against us. They could have taken anyone by force. Instead, they asked for my help. Something in Carter's expression shifted. How can we verify what you're saying? Let me show you, Lily suggested. She turned to Elder Nix. Can we show them the medical facility? The children who have been treated. The elder hesitated, then nodded. A visual feed was established, showing the Vexari Medical Center where dozens of children now played and rested, their skin glowing with renewed health. These children were dying. Captain Lily explained. My DNA contained elements that could save them. It's already working. A cure is being implemented across their population. Captain Carter listened as Lily explained her proposal. I suggest a cultural and scientific exchange, she said. A small delegation from Earth can come aboard this station to observe the medical procedures and learn about Vexari society. In return, the Vexari can share certain technologies that would benefit humanity, particularly in medicine and sustainable energy. Carter frowned. This sounds like you're negotiating on behalf of the aliens. Negotiating on behalf of both species, Lily replied. Firmly, I've seen what Vexari technology can do. Captain, their medical advances alone could eliminate most human diseases. Their energy systems produce no pollution. Their agricultural methods could end food scarcity. But more importantly, they have much to teach us about peaceful coexistence, and if we refuse, then everyone loses. Lily said the Vexari will protect themselves if threatened. They may not be warriors, but they have the technological capability to defend their world. And Earth would lose the opportunity for a peaceful first contact with an advanced civilization. Captain Carter was silent for a long moment, considering. I need to consult with my superiors. This goes beyond my authority. 6 tense hours passed while Earth Command deliberated. Lily waited with the Vexari Council monitoring the human ships, which maintained their positions, but had not taken any aggressive actions. Finally, Captain Carter requested to speak with Lily and Elder Nix together. Earth Command has authorized a preliminary exchange, she announced cautiously. A team of 5 specialists will board your station under diplomatic protocol. We request that Lily Brooks be present during all interactions to facilitate communication. Elder Nix agreed, though the patterns on her skin revealed caution. The exchange was scheduled for the following day. Preparations began immediately. Lily barely slept that night. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on her. The future relationship between 2 civilizations might depend on these first formal interactions. She found Zara in the observation lounge staring out at the human ships. What if this goes wrong? Lily asked. Zara turned to her, the patterns on her skin revealing complex emotions. The future is never certain. But you have created an opportunity where none existed. You have built a bridge between worlds. The human delegation arrived precisely on schedule, their shuttle docking at the designated port. Lily waited with Elder Nix, Zara, and several other council members. The humans who emerged were a carefully selected group: a senior diplomat, 2 scientists, a medical doctor, and a military officer for security. They all wore expressions of barely contained awe as they stepped into the alien environment. Lily stepped forward. Welcome to Vexar Research Station 1, the diplomat. A woman named Dr. Eleanor Mason recovered, first extending her hand in greeting. Thank you, Lily. The significance of this moment cannot be overstated. We are honored to be the first official representatives of Earth to meet the Vexari people. Elder Nix performed the traditional greeting, touching her forehead, in respect. We welcome you in peace and hope. This meeting brings understanding between our worlds. What followed was an intensive cultural and scientific exchange. The human delegation was given a tour of the station, shown the medical facilities, and introduced to the basics of Vexari technology. Dr. Mason and her team were professional, but could not hide their amazement at what they witnessed. Their medical technology is centuries beyond ours, the human doctor whispered to Lily. They could revolutionize human medicine overnight. The scientific exchange went both ways. The humans shared information about Earth biology, environmental systems, and cultural development. The Vexari were particularly interested in human art, music, and literature concepts, that crossed the species barrier despite their differences. By the third day, tensions had noticeably decreased. The human ships maintained their positions, but regular communication had been established. A second delegation was being prepared to join the first, expanding the exchange. Lily found herself acting as cultural interpreter, explaining human concepts to the Vexari and Vexari ideas to the humans. The role suited her. As someone who had experienced both worlds, she understood the challenges of cross-species communication. During a private moment, Dr. Mason pulled Lily aside. "You realize what you've done, don't you?" "What do you mean?" "You've single-handedly prevented what could have been a disastrous first contact," Mason said. "The military was pushing for aggressive action. They saw the Vexari as a threat. Your intervention changed everything. I just did what seemed right." Lily said. Mason smiled. "That's usually how history gets made." The human delegations continued to rotate, with new specialists arriving and others returning to Earth to report their findings. The Vexari shared selected technologies focusing on medical advances and sustainable energy systems. In return, the humans provided cultural exchanges and biological data. As weeks passed into months, a permanent human embassy was established on the research station. The initial crisis had transformed into a carefully managed diplomatic relationship. Lily remained central to these interactions. Her unique position as a human who understood Vexari society, making her invaluable. One evening, Elder Nix summoned Lily to the council chamber. The patterns on the elder's skin glowed with formal significance. "The genetic restoration project has been completed," she announced. "All Vexari have now received the treatment. The degradation has been halted and reversed. Our children will grow healthy and strong. Our future is secure, thanks to you, Lily Brooks." Lily felt a wave of emotion. This was why she had come to this distant world. The success meant everything. Elder Nix continued. "The council has made a decision. We wish to offer you formal citizenship. Among the Vexari people, you would be the first human to hold such status with all rights and privileges. This includes access to our knowledge connection training." Lily was stunned. The knowledge connection was the telepathic bond that Vexari shared. It had never been offered to an outsider. "You would teach me to connect with the patterns to communicate as Vexari do. It would require genetic modification." Elder Nix explained. "The patterns would be grown on your skin over time. The neural pathways, developed gradually. But yes, you would gain the ability to connect with our collective consciousness to truly know what it means to be Vexari while remaining human." The offer was extraordinary. Lily knew that, but she also recognized the implications. Such a modification would make her neither fully human nor Vexari, but something new. A bridge between species in the most literal sense. "I need time to consider this," she said finally. "Of course," Elder Nix replied. "The choice must be yours, freely made." As all important choices are, Lily sought out Zara, finding her in the crystal gardens on the station. "How long have you known about this offer?" "Since it was first proposed," Zara admitted, the patterns on her skin revealing both hope and concern. "It is unprecedented, Lily. No outsider has ever been offered the connection." "Why?" Zara touched Lily's hand gently. "Because you have already connected us. Your DNA saved our people. Your diplomacy prevented conflict. Your understanding bridges our worlds. The physical connection would only formalize what already exists. And if I accept, what then? You would remain here with us," Zara said. "You would learn our ways more deeply than any human could. Without the connection, you would help guide future interactions between our peoples and Earth." "What about my home?" "You would still be human," Zara assured her. "Still connected to your world. You could visit Earth, serve as an ambassador. But yes, your primary home would be among us." Lily walked alone through the station. That night, considering the offer, the research facility had become familiar. Over the months, corridors and chambers that had once seemed alien now felt almost like home. She watched Vexari going about their duties, their skin patterns communicating in that silent language she could observe but not yet understand. She thought about Earth. Her small apartment seemed distant now, like something from another life. She had few close ties there. Her parents had died years ago. Her friends, while caring, were not deeply connected to her daily life. She had always felt somewhat apart, somewhat different. Now she understood why. The human embassy was quiet when she arrived. Dr. Mason was working late, reviewing cultural exchange protocols, Lily explained. The council's offer watching the diplomat's expression shift from surprise to thoughtful consideration. It's an unprecedented opportunity, Mason said after a long silence, both personally and diplomatically. No human has ever been offered such integration into an alien society. But I'd be changing myself, Lily said, becoming something different. Mason smiled gently. Aren't we all constantly changing, becoming something different with each new experience, each new relationship? The scale may be greater here, but the principle is the same. What would Earth say about this? Would they see it as betrayal? Some might, Mason admitted honestly. But others would see it as the ultimate connection between our worlds. You would be a living bridge. Lily. A translator, not just of words but of experiences. A guide for both species as we learn to coexist in the end. The decision was hers alone. Lily returned to the council the following day. She stood before Elder Nix and the assembled Vexari leaders, her mind clear. Accept your offer. She said, I will become a citizen of Vexar. I will learn the connection. The patterns on the council's skin flashed with joy. The ceremony was scheduled to begin the genetic modification process. A human diplomatic team would observe, with Dr. Mason representing Earth officially. 6 months after beginning the transformation, Lily stood before a mirror examining the changes to her body. The luminescent patterns now covered much of her skin, delicate swirls and geometric shapes that glowed with soft purple light. Her eyes had changed too, taking on a silvery quality though not as pronounced as full Vexari. Zara entered the chamber, her own patterns glowing in greeting. It is time, she said. Today you will attempt your first connection. Lily felt nervous excitement. The Vexari had prepared her explaining the process, but experiencing it would be something entirely different. How does it work exactly? You must learn to control the patterns. Zara explained, to modulate them consciously. The connection begins as emotions, expressed through light but deepens into true thought sharing. They walked together to a special chamber designed for connection training. Several other Vexari waited there, including Elder Nix, who would guide the process. Lily took her place in the center of the room, surrounded by the others. Close your eyes, Elder Nix instructed. Feel the patterns on your skin. They are extensions of your nervous system. Your emotions already influence them. Now you must learn to direct them. Lily closed her eyes, concentrating on the strange tingling sensation that accompanied the patterns. She had noticed how they brightened when she felt strong emotions. Now she tried to consciously control that response, focusing on creating specific patterns. She felt a warmth spreading across her skin, the patterns responding to her mental direction. Good, Elder Nix said. Now focus on a simple emotion. Something clear and strong. Lily thought of gratitude. The feeling she had for these beings who had welcomed her. Among them who had shared their world and their knowledge, she felt the patterns shift and change. She heard soft sounds of approval from the Vexari around her. Now, Elder Nix continued, direct that emotion outward. Through your patterns, imagine it extending. Beyond your skin, Lily concentrated, visualizing the feeling extending like light. The sensation was strange at first, uncomfortable, like stretching muscles she had never used. Then suddenly she felt something new. A presence, not her own. Gentle, tentative, touching her consciousness. Her eyes flew open in surprise, breaking the connection. That was Zara, Elder Nix explained. You made your first connection brief, though it was. With practice, you will maintain it longer. Share more deeply. Over the following weeks, Lily trained daily, her ability to control the patterns growing stronger. Each session lasted longer, the connections deeper. She began to receive impressions from the Vexari around her, not just emotions but images, thoughts, memories. The experience was overwhelming at first. Human minds were not designed for such intimate sharing, yet she adapted. As the connections strengthened, Lily began to understand the Vexari in ways she never could have through words alone. She experienced their collective memory, their shared consciousness, their profound connection to their world and to each other, their grief at the near loss of their species, their joy at renewal, their curiosity about humans and other beings. In turn, she shared human experiences, the complexity of individual consciousness, the vibrant chaos of a species with billions of separate minds developing in isolation from each other, the creativity that sprang from that isolation, the loneliness too, the deep human desire for connection that drove art, music, religion, and so much more. The human embassy observed her transformation with scientific interest. Dr. Mason documenting the process for Earth records. Government officials debated the implications. Some feared the creation of a hybrid being with divided loyalties. Others recognized the diplomatic advantage of having a representative who truly understood both species. 9 months after beginning her transformation, Lily made her first return visit to Earth. The trip was carefully arranged with full diplomatic protocols. She would meet with government officials, scientific teams, and selected media representatives. The journey felt strange. A reversal of her original trip with Zara Earth seemed both familiar and foreign. As they approached the blue planet, beautiful but somehow less vivid than the crystal landscapes of Vexar, they landed at a specially prepared facility in Geneva. The human delegation, waiting with barely concealed anticipation, cameras documented her emergence from the Vexari ship, the patterns on her skin visible even in daylight, her eyes with their silvery sheen marking her as something not quite human anymore. Dr. Mason greeted her warmly. "Welcome home, Lily, though I suspect home has new meaning for you now." Lily smiled, the patterns on her skin shifting to express emotions words could not capture. "Home is more complex than geography," she replied. The days that followed were intense, meeting after meeting as Earth officials sought to understand the Vexari, their technology, their intentions. Some approached with open curiosity, others with thinly veiled suspicion. Lily navigated these interactions carefully, using her unique perspective to build understanding. In private moments, she visited familiar places. Her old apartment now maintained as a historical site, the first contact between human and Vexari having become significant in Earth history. The bookstore where she had worked, the manager barely recognizing her with her transformed appearance. The park where she had often walked alone, feeling somehow different from those around her. A journalist asked during an interview, "Do you still consider yourself human?" Lily considered the question, "I am human in origin, in memory, and many aspects of physiology. But I am also Vexari in the patterns that allow me to connect in the shared consciousness I now experience. I am both, and neither, a new category perhaps. The first of what may be many as our species learn from each other." The Earth visit lasted 3 weeks. As it concluded, preparations were already underway for expanded exchanges. More humans would visit Vexar. Selected humans would be offered limited pattern technology, allowing basic emotional communication, though not the full consciousness connection that Lily experienced. Upon her return to Vexar, Lily found herself elevated to a new position, a member of the High Council with specific responsibility for interspecies relations. Her unique perspective made her invaluable as contact expanded beyond Earth to other worlds. The Vexari, long isolated by their genetic crisis, were rejoining the wider galactic community. 2 years after her initial transformation, Lily stood on the crystal overlook where Zara had once shown her the beauty of Vexar. The landscape had changed. The planet was healing as the Vexari themselves had healed. The silvery rivers ran clearer. The purple plains bloomed with new growth. The crystal formations seemed to sing with renewed energy. Zara joined her, their patterns automatically synchronizing in greeting. "How does it feel?" she asked, to look back on all that has happened. Lily smiled, the patterns on her skin expressing emotions too complex for words. "When you appeared. In my bedroom that morning, I thought my life was over. In a way it was. But something new and wonderful began. I knew you were special from the first moment Zara said her patterns, revealing deeper emotions than her words. I saw not just the genetic potential, but the spirit within Lily reached out, connecting her consciousness to Zara's, sharing memories and feelings. Words became unnecessary as their patterns synchronized, harmonizing in the silent language they now shared. Through that connection flowed understanding, affection, and something deeper. A bond that transcended species. A bridge between worlds below them in the valley. A mixed group of Vexari and humans worked together in the new research center. Diplomatic teams. Scientific exchanges. Cultural ambassadors. The first tentative steps toward true cooperation between worlds. What comes next? Lily asked. As they ended the connection, Zara looked toward the horizon where 3 moons were rising above the crystal spires. The universe is vast, she said, filled with wonders and challenges both. Many species, many worlds, many possibilities, and we will face them together. Not as human and Vexari, but as fellow travelers among the stars. Lily nodded, the patterns on her skin glowing with hope and purpose. She had come so far from that frightened human who woke to find an alien in her bedroom, yet in the most important ways she remained the same. Curious, compassionate, willing to take risks for something greater than herself. The sun set over Vexar, casting the crystal city in golden light. Lily and Zara stood together, watching as stars appeared in the darkening sky. Each point of light a potential destination, a future adventure, a new connection waiting to be made. In that moment, Lily knew with absolute certainty that her journey was not ending but truly beginning. Back on Earth, a young girl looked up at those same stars, feeling somehow different from those around her, wondering if she truly belonged, not knowing that far. Away across the light years, someone very much like her had found her place in the universe, and that someday perhaps she would too. The pattern of connection spreading from world to world, from species to species, one small bridge at a time.